Good evening, Iris. This is John Daniel here, and today we're going to learn how to become a Pokemon Master. And this is 0.1. This is where we start. You always start from the beginning, right? I mean, I know it's hard to accept, but you need to learn the basics first. You need to learn how to walk before you can crawl, and that's just how it is. It's how it is, mate. So first of all, what we'll do is we'll get into this. Now, natures, right? Every Pokemon has a nature. All of them. There's no Pokemon that does not have a nature. And if you look at this white line running through the center here, right? These are your neutral natures. So a hardy or a docile or a bashful or a quirky or a serious Pokemon, their stats are not affected by their nature, okay? They are completely neutral, right? It has no effect on them whatsoever. Now, if you have a look at this top bar up here, right? You've got attack minus, defense minus, special attack minus, special defense minus, and speed minus, right? Now, how this bar works is, well, it's a graph, isn't it? Like, you have a look at this bar here. Attack plus, defense plus, special attack plus, special defense plus, and speed plus. Now, see how attack plus and attack minus correlate on the graph? They cancel each other out, and that's why the nature is neutral, okay? Whereas if you look down here at bold, the defense is up, right? And the attack is down. So every Pokemon that is bold has 10% plus to attack, to defense, and 10% minus to attack. And that's pretty much how it works. This is how this graph works. So we'll go over to like Sassy, right? It's plus special defense and it's minus speed. So, say that you want a Pokemon to be slow. Like, you might have a trick room set up where, all Pokemon speeds are reversed or whatever. Well, then these will be like the ones that you want. You want a brave, a relaxed, a quiet, or a sassy, depending on whether they attack, whether they're defending, whether they use special attacks, or whether they use special defense to tank. And that's pretty much how these work, right? So we'll just run through quickly again. Neutral, 0. Like, it doesn't affect the stats whatsoever, right? And then you just follow the graph as it is. So minus attack, down. Plus defense, that equals bold. It's just too easy. Alright. So I hope you've got that sorted out. I hope I explained it okay. And yeah, I suppose we'll move on. Now, here comes the fun bit. We got EVs and IVs, right? Like, now, this a lot of people will think that this is hard, but it's not. It's very easy, alright? Like, you see here, like, all of my bars here, I'll even zoom in for a bit, right? Okay. Now, the Pokemon we're looking at is Goodra. I love Goodra. I mean, hey Goodra. But, anyway, back to what we're doing. Now, I've set no EVs at all on this Pokemon, right? But all of its IVs are at 31. Now, I'll talk about EVs after we go through IVs. Now, what an IV does is it's its original stat, okay? Like, so the max potential for this like health point here is 90 for that Pokemon, okay? Where's my thing? Yeah. And then you look over here, its IVs are 31. So its stat at the end when it's at level 100 with 31 IVs and a base stat of 90 is 321. Now, you know, it's mathematics, mate. If you don't like maths, you won't like Pokemon in the advanced stages, and that's just how it is, alright? Like, there's people, it's construed as a kiddie game, and it's like put forward as a kiddie game, but it's got strategy and mathematics behind it, and that's just the way it is. Like, they've built it pretty well. So yeah, if it's got 0 IVs, right? See this 321? That would actually be 290, right? So every IV directly affects at level 100 to 1 point, okay? And that's pretty simple, right? So if it had 0 IVs for its HP, it would have 290 as its stat. But because it's got 31 IVs, it's 321, right? It's got that 31 extra. And that's why people want 6 IV Pokemon, you know? Those stats matter. I hope you got that. Now, let's move on. Over here, now you see this back here? 321, remember? Now, we've boosted its EVs, right, to 252. You see that bar there? It's all the way to the top. And you can see the difference. Like, it's massive. Like, hello. You know, I think by memory, I'm not completely 100% sure, but I think it's 1 to every 4. I think that's the ratio of 4 EVs equal 1 total point. Correct me if I'm wrong, it might be 6. I don't really feel like doing the mathematics right now, but it's either one of those two. But yeah, so you pretty much get it. Like, that's how it works, you know? So, and that's why you need, when you play competitively, you need 31, 31, 31, 31, 31. And sometimes speed's a little bit different, like, because you want your Pokemon slower. Or maybe you think you might get confused, so you want 0 IVs, because you don't want your Pokemon to hurt itself, because all you do is use special attack. See, like, these are the sorts of things that you can manipulate with your Pokemon to, you know, make them work to your advantage and, you know, help you secure the win. Because, hey, let's not, like, you know, muck around here. We're here to win. Like, you know, you play to win. And, I mean, you're never going to always win, but you got to strive for that, mate. Like, you know, if you want to play serious games, you play to win, and that's how we roll. Like, so I hope you got that. I'll just go through this a little bit more. The max stat, like the max amount of EVs that you can have for one stat is 252, right? So that's all you can put on one stat. So essentially you can max out 2 stats and have a remaining 4. Now, I can't remember like whether it is 4 or 6, but I think it is 6 actually, because I don't think that 4 actually counts for 1 point. So, you know, obviously, like, I should have done a little bit more research before like teaching you, but you pretty much get the thing, right? I suppose that'll be all for today. Next tutorial, are we going to call these tutorials like a tutorial giveaway, like whatever? I don't know, what should I do? I don't know, we'll go through how to train your Pokemon. I'll teach you how to horde battle, how to get these stats like as fast as possible, how to manipulate your Pokemon the fastest way, like get all your items equipped, like, you know, all that sort of good jazz. So yeah, I suppose now what are we gonna do? We'll give away a full set of Dittos. Why not? See, I'm going to give away a full set of 6 IV Dittos with all natures. So, you know, all natures, that's not including neutrals because you don't need them. You only need these, right? This little square and this little square, or triangle, I suppose. Right? So you'll get a bold, a modest, a mild, a calm, a gentle, careful, timid, hasty, etc. You'll get all of those, and guess what? They're all going to be 6 IV, right? So, you know, they're all going to run down and be in this bracket here. And then after I teach you how to train Pokemon, I'll teach you how to breed Pokemon. And, you know, because that's how we do. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to play a little bit of a game. And what you're going to do is you're going to tell me, right? You're going to tell me how many Pokemon are in this image. And you're going to put your FC and IGN in the comment section with the number of Pokemon that are in this image. So if your answer's 1, then you put your answer 1. Make sure you put your FC IGN. And yeah, I'll call the winner at the start of tomorrow's video, and we'll do it like that. Alright, so I'll post a video every day with some hints and tricks, like, you know, after we get through all this tutorial sort of crap. And you know, I'll run my giveaways at the end of my videos every day, and then I'll call the winners of last week or last day's video on that video, if that makes sense. So you enter today, you could win tomorrow, pretty much. And yeah, so also a massive shout out, because, you know, that's what I like to do. I like to shout out people. Massive shout out to Joseph. He's our battle master. If you've got any battle problems or you want to learn some hints and tricks, you make sure to contact Joseph, right? I think he's Joseph Sanchez. That's him. He is Mad Dog. And I think also our other Joseph Bryant, he is also a Mad Dog, and he knows tips and tricks that blow me away, right? Dragon Master. So Joseph Ryan Sanchez, Water Master, right? Think Suicide. And then Joseph Carmichael Bryant, I think his name is Dragon Master. Think Latias. Alright. Thanks for watching, and peace out, Oris.